So, the moral leader wants to talk to you about pets. Notice that women, when they get into their 30s, if they've not had a child, become increasingly obsessed with pets. And it makes it so that they're more difficult to date, and therefore they're less likely to get married and to have children. Uh, so I've encountered this countless occasions trying to date women in their late 20s and 30s, and it just gets worse as the 30s turns into the 40s. So these women take their fierce desire to nurture and they transform it onto animals, and and you're left getting dates with them around their dog sitting schedule. So I remember this one girl I was dating who was very attached to her little dog. And basically, she wanted the dog with her everywhere, which severely circumscribed the places we could go and the things we could do. And if we could go on a vacation, she'd have to find someone else to look after the dog. So it just added to the price of dating her. Another woman very attached to animals that I used to date, and some weekends were her dog sitting weekends, and if I was going to see her, she'd have to fit me in around her dog sitting schedule. And if we'd get together, we were limited in what we were doing because we had this big drooling dog with us, which would cover us with drool and limit the things we could do. And she couldn't leave the car because she was looking after the dog, and so we couldn't spend time alone together. We had to do everything with this dog around. So quite a few times I just skipped out on getting together with her because it was just too much of a hassle to have to deal with the dog. Another thing that happens is when you get into company, the more people you have in a conversation, the more trivial and shallow it generally becomes. So if you've got a woman who's obsessed with pets and you're at a dinner table having conversation with, say, 4 people, it's very likely that 50% of her conversation is going to be about dogs or cats or whatever her pet is, which bores me to tears. About 1 minute of dog talk is about all I can take. And I wouldn't dream of spending an hour at a dinner table talking about football if I knew that most of the people at the table had no interest in football. So again, these are the things that just add to the price of dating a woman in her 30s and 40s. Now, I know there are lots of things that I've done that add to the price of dating me. Very controversial blogger, I have a lot of enemies, and been thrown out of various synagogues for my blogging. And so that kind of makes my life a little more insecure and perilous, and that adds to the price of dating me. So I'm just thinking that we all, particularly us singles, need therapy and need to figure out the ways that we make dating us more difficult, and therefore ways that we needlessly separate ourselves from others.